Ben Shephard derailed this morning and left his co-stars and crew in fits of giggles as he asked a very rude question in the middle of a makeover segment. The host was left squirming as he tried to explain himself while his co-host Kat Deely and fashion presenter Joe Goods struggled to keep control of the segment. On Thursday, Kat, 49, and Ben, 51, were joined by their resident fashion expert to craft some summer-ready looks for ITV audiences, based on the biggest trends. And after showcasing a series of looks for the duo, Jo then turned attentions to her own outfit, a pink and white blouse tied up round the neck and a pair of wide-legged jeans, complete with some heeled boots. Describing the look, Jo revealed how the kitten bow that was tied at the top of the shirt is very flattering for mature women before going on to point out the other design features of the item. But Ben was quick to interrupt with a question, asking about the classic neckline, which has also been referred to as a lavalier. Is it a kitten bow or a pussy bow? The crew and Kat could then be heard trying to stifle their laughter as Ben stuttered and tried to explain himself, only to make things worse and leave Kat shouting, "I just didn't know if it was smaller. If it was a pussy, would it be bigger?" Ben continued, as Jo tried to cover up the question, swiping, "Shall we move on?" Looking embarrassed, Ben expressed, "I sometimes forget I am on the telly," to which Kat shouted in his direction, "Any more questions?" Ben sheepishly replied as the studio, including show guest Sheridan Smith, were seen erupting into laughter. No, I think I've said enough." Fans at home were shocked to hear Ben's use of language, and took to X, formerly Twitter, to joke about his choice of words, a vulgar slang term for a vagina. However, many fans were left unimpressed by the segment for other reasons, hitting out at Yosh's choice of outfits for the women involved. Among the looks were a matching two-piece baby blue suit, a green shorts and tailored jacket look, and a long white skirt paired with a button-up top. One wrote on X of the matching two-piece outfit, "That's awful color as well," as another chimed in, "These fashions today are hideous. #this morning." Someone else agreed, "Blind people could dress people better than Jo," as a fourth added, "Oh boy, here we go with the terrible fashion clothes." It comes after Kat was left red-faced after Ben scolded her for her bossy treatment of a This Morning guest as they appeared live on air. The duo were joined by former Doctor Who star Christopher Eccleston on the sofa on the same installment of the show, as he spoke about his upcoming role in new Netflix series Unchosen. The drama, which is inspired by the more than 2,000 cults across the UK, sees Christopher, 62, play a sinister cult leader named Mr. Phillips. The synopsis for the upcoming show, which will launch on April 21, reads, Unchosen follows Rosie, who lives in a cloistered Christian community with her husband, Adam, Asa Butterfield, and their daughter. The fateful arrival of the mysterious Sam, an escaped prisoner, throws into relief the reality and restraints of Rosie's world. Perhaps her hidden religious community doesn't have her best interests at heart. As cracks begin to appear in Rosie and Adam's marriage, Sam presents himself as Rosie's savior. But with his dark criminal past, where does the greatest danger lie, with the cult, or with Sam? Before Christopher could begin speaking about his role in the show, Kat, 49, was seen dishing him out a reminder to sit up as the camera panned to him. She said, "Sit up straight, we're on." To which Ben hit back as Christopher shuffled in his seat. "You're being so bossy with the guests." As Kat laughed. Elsewhere, Tim Campbell left This Morning viewers in shock when he took an X-rated swipe at a caller during a live phone-in segment. The Apprentice star was on hand to offer up his business advice to those looking to change careers, or launch a side hustle into a full-time occupation. Tim, 48, joined ITV daytime hosts Rochelle Humes and Joel Dommett last week as they spoke to viewers live about their business ideas and plans. The second caller, a retired teacher named Julie and a keen knitter, was asking Tim how she could market her handmade socks into a worldwide business. Julie asked, "It takes me about 2 days to make a pair of socks. How can I move forward and make something of this skill I have?" And as Tim went to give out his advice, encouraging Julie to market herself as a global brand, he made an unfortunate slip of the tongue. Tim said, "Now, you are a global sex seller," before realizing what he had done, laughing and correcting himself, socks. Socks seller.